the pregame stuff. December 21st and December 28th, we are going to take off for holiday stuff.
Brilliant.
Up
That's
until
fair.
then, yeah. Up until then, though, we got like 3 or 4 more sessions until our holiday break.
Believe so.
Like 3 more Doctor Who. Sigh.
The sigh. Other than that, though, I got nothing pre-session. So, Cortanus, why don't you? Oh, darn it!
Wow.
Okay, that'll take a little bit to get used to.
From the grave. Except not really. Who are thee? Who art thou?
All right, that'll take a little bit of getting used to on my part. Phelan, why don't you go ahead and kick us off with what happened last week?
Okay, so yep, Cortanus got offed, secretly, and then the group found out through a letter, and after that they got pulled into a mission. This guy, how do you pronounce his name? Cyan or Sane? Sane to go after the Mufwa in through the sewers, find their hideout, and take them out. And so they met up with Phelan, who is the happy-go-lucky justice person that talks to herself and may or may not have a familiar. And yeah, so they went into the sewers, found a semi-ambush, but not really, took them out, and they're following the trail once they left the sewers. Found a trail towards a camp in the distance, which they're currently trying to figure out what's happening there and how to deal with the situation, because they're, I believe, kids.
There are kids who recently got armored up, or they're now wearing the same robes, is my last note here.
Right.
So if we go in, we can't just hit everybody wearing purple, because some of them are kids.
Exactly.
Well, we can, it's just,
Yeah. No,
maybe
never!
maybe frowned upon.
Keep killing is bad.
Indeed be frowned upon.
Saying we have the capacity.
Yes. So our goal is to figure out how to deal with the situation going in, because as far as we know, they haven't seen us yet.
That is the perfect recap. We find ourselves in the hours just before morning. The sun is going to rise probably within the next hour and a half, too. You are about 50 yards away still, and you see the small lad adorning his purple cloak, while the other one is handed his as well by the man who is also at the outside fire with them. What do you do?
I changed my Pact-Wept blade to a halberd.
No, we left the interns back at.
They're at the
they got
castle.
a place to stay at the castle. Yeah.
Yeah.
The little ones are back there. You don't have them here.
And then Glaciso has himself a new wooden sword.
Yeah, he does.
And
Okay,
also
he
a
has
second dead mom.
Damn.
Oh!
Kid's got a hard life.
Hopefully we don't get
A fog cloud puppets.
bad anytime soon.
Forgot about those.
You do have fog cloud pellets if you would like to use them.
Not right now, but where'd they go? Yep.
Nothing at all would be wrong with just throwing fog cloud pellets for no reason.
It is, again, another thing I can do.
Who doesn't like smoke everywhere?
I get it. You vape. Okay. Special ability marker set up. But I will do that, and then we're peering into the camp. No, there's one. So how are we going to isolate the leaders?
First things first, how are we going to get in at all? Do we see any guards?
I'll do
only-
first things first. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, hold on. Your first things first.
I was just going to ask, what is our actual goal in this camp right now?
So they wanted us to. They wanted us to.
You wanted us to kill evildoers and rescue children.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, our ultimate goal is to go take out the Mothwa at the place where we worship.
Yeah. Ultimately, remove the Mothwa from Orsham. Our specific mission was to go through this exit, see where it leads, and take out as many Mothwa as possible.
Oh, so now we can go around killing people again.
Yes.
If we kill the right people, yes.
Okay, so
Are we
as far
remembering
as
correctly?
as far as guards, the only individuals you see outside is the one adult and the two kids by the fire.
Okay.
I have no way of sneaky killing them.
Yeah. I mean, I'd try and sneak up on him, but I'm in heavy armor. That's not very sneaky. Do we have anybody?
My whole thing does not involve subtlety, so.
Yeah. Is Thalen sneaky?
Not exactly.
He's
But-
not particularly loud.
She's
What about
she's
Thalen's
currently
friend?
sitting down right now, kind of with her eyes closed, concentrating really hard. Obviously, not really listening to you guys.
What about Thalen's buddy?
Thalen,
Can't hear you.
X is gonna walk over and kind of poke Thalen in the shoulder a couple of times. Thalen!
And just, like over her eyes. I was concentrating.
Sorry! I gotta know, are you sneaky?
Sneaky. Why do we need to be sneaky? These are the evildoers.
Yeah, but we won't want to.
Well, at least the guy outside. I don't know how to read him. The kids are way too happy to be dealing with them. But obviously they're being tricked.
Right, but we don't want to kill them in front of him.
Of course not.
Exactly. So we need to be sneaky. Or get the kids out. Either one works.
Obviously, we just need to teach the kids that they're evil and they're being.
Well, we have to get rid of the adults first, because the kids won't listen to us while the adults are around. Then we can bring them back to town. We'll have all the time we need.
Chip can get inside. He might be able to at least do something or listen in.
I have the greatest view of like you guys leaping out of the bushes in front of the kid and being like, "The people you love are evil," and then just striking him down.
mean, it's
Pretty
super
much.
effective, right?
I mean, we have been marching.
That wouldn't traumatize them at all.
We have been marching through the night. That sounds like something that we could possibly do.
It is a plan that Fulgrim would totally come up with.
I guess probably would too.
And it's unfortunate that we're all exhausted because that's not going to make certain skill checks any better.
No, especially because you're all at disadvantage for them.
Yes.
Wait, what are we at disadvantage?
All
Y'all have-
ability checks.
Y'all have exhaustion.
Oh yeah.
Boom.
It's just ability checks.
It's ability checks, not attacks yet.
Yeah, but that means the odds of us actually being able to persuade them being so tired is not good.
Maybe we should just try to listen in for now.
Maybe. Can Tiff get in and try and listen?
I can see. So I'll go back to like concentrating. They're like on the ground in the Indian sitting position, just focusing.
While you do that, I'm going to go over here and take a nap.
Okay, what are you? Where are you trying to find? Where are you trying to send your imaginary friend?
Basically, to go around the building looking for openings, like any windows or any broken things in the roof that he might be able to slip inside.
Building's fairly well put together. I mean, he could pass through walls if he really wanted to, or go down the chimney, which is currently billowing smoke.
Yeah, no, let's not do that.
I mean, there's always the fun of suffocation.
Don't be mean.
Otherwise, there is a small hole right on the roof. It looks like a little 1x1 square, very close to the chimney. Looks to be cut out intentionally.
Like peek down it and see if there's anything like obviously there. If it's just sort of a smoke vent, an extra.
He sees some embers and smells some smoke, but he doesn't see an open flame or anything like that.
Say if he doesn't see any flame, try to slip through it a little bit. But if he feels any heat or any obvious signs of danger, not going further.
Okay. As he slips in, he gets the smell of smoke is stronger, but there's no open flame. Everything's very, very dark, but it's just bright enough to be dim lighting, so he can't really see anything at all.
Oh, so it's like a. It's not actually open into, or is it open into an attic, or is it just a tiny little?
It's a room that is roughly measurement. It's roughly 50 by 35 feet. But the glowing pit is lighting it up just enough so that with your devil sight, you're not able to see in dim lighting, right? Like you can only see in pitch black. So
Is
the
that
embers
how
are
it
making.
works?
Devil sight.
Yeah.
No, devil sight. You don't care about light.
Yeah,
Even
exactly.
magical darkness doesn't care. Now it doesn't see through fog. So if the room is all like smoky and crap, it's still smoky, and it only gives you the advantage. I think it only gives you up to. I can't remember if it gives you dim light or full light. We'll look that up.
It gives you his normal light, I believe.
It's pretty awesome. But fog or other like physical stuff in the way of your light. Double sight. You can see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical, to a distance of 120 feet.
Yeah, so you
Okay.
can't see in dim light.
No, you can see in dim light.
Oh,
Which means
That'd be
you
kinda
That would be the
weird.
that would be the dumbest power ever.
hold on.
Because then say darkness as in the spell, it just says darkness. The situation.
As written, Devil Sight Invocation gives you no benefit in dim light and full color vision in darkness. Is that intended? The sage advice is yes. Devil Sight is meant to be an eerie ability, as in douse that candle so the dark powers will lend me sight.
Huh. That's weird.
That is so weird.
Well, one could also argue it's like IR goggles, where too much light is a bad thing.
Well, no, but it's say medium light, like a candle light would turn it off, but like a bright light would negate it, would negate the purpose of it also. So it's dim light is bad, but brightness, there's no penalty for being in bright light.
Well, if you were in bright light, you wouldn't need the Devil Sight at all. You'd have regular sight.
Yeah, but you're not turning it off. Always on.
Mhm.
It's always on like dark vision is. When the brightness levels change, you naturally adjust into your other spectrum of vision, as it were. It's just that
I can't understand any reading of it that says that partial darkness is not. It works in full.
And either
darkness,
way,
not
either way,
partial
wouldn't a
darkness.
Fae
Without
have at least low light vision anyway, if not dark vision? Because then that would be like dim light is normal.
I'm actually unfamiliar with Fae, or your familiar in general. So like, if he does have low light / dark vision, then he can see fine. It was my understanding that he used your Devil Sight.
But I mean, like Devil Sight adds on to whatever the person normally has.
Yeah, like if he has dark vision normally, he can see fine. I just didn't know if he did or not, so I didn't assume so.
Does anybody know about Fae? Because I assume since elves have dark vision, then they're Fae, essentially.
Fae, there are no generic rules for monster type tags anymore. So it depends on the individual creature. Most probably would, but it depends on the individual creature. So
Yeah. Like, I
Awesome
have a
creature,
walkthrough
I don't
manual,
know.
and we can look it up if you want. But
Shoot, I forget what he is.
That's right.
Sprite, that's it. I was looking under fairy, and I was like, how do they not have fairy? I've seen the stats. But it's not a fairy, because they don't have that. No, he has a special heart sight, but other than that, he just has regular perception. He can also speak in both Elvish and Sylvan.
Yep.
and
So
turn
he-
invisible. Wait.
So like he can be cool and like speaking to an elf, but then when he wants to be a dick, start speaking in Sylvan.
if you want to be a dick, you talk Elven. Everyone knows.
No, when he wants to be a dick, he just talks to me telepathically.
Everyone knows what sort of person speaks Elven.
Those awful kind of people.
They are.
Okay.
You don't know this person exists.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know, but
When you finally do, it'll be exciting.
I mean, I can still think that Tiff is imaginary, so
Yep.
Yeah. That's fair.
Though the fact that she called the right tunnel is probably
She had a
evidence
50-50 on that.
she did. She did.
I can see the future. I'm a psycho.
She uses her psycho powers. I mean, psychic powers.
It's a psychopath. Um. Well, if there's dim light, I assume the dim light's towards the fire.
Yeah.
What does it show the room near it?
There is the dim lighting is only about 30 feet around the pit, right? Or the smoldering embers. So it covers a large majority of the room, but he does see two large storage cabinets slash dressers up against the back wall, and he sees an open archway that's about 5 feet wide leading into a darker hallway that goes both left and right.
Sorry, I had to pull himself around and get around the fire, but still get into that space. Like back behind the dressers or something like that, or behind the things.
Behind the dressers, it's pretty snug. They're placed right up against the wall. He might be able to squeeze in behind or under, but he's just gonna find a lot of dust. Maybe some cobwebs. Definitely some cobwebs. He runs into a spider. Roll initiative.
Oh god. Alright. Yeah, if he can sneak into somehow get around into that room and then just kind of stay up towards the ceiling.
Yeah.
Flying.
Yeah, he can stay in that room if he wants. He doesn't see anyone in there or hear voices going on. His passive perception would let him get some snoring going on from the right, outside and to the right, but it's pretty faded.
All right. So you said how did I diverge? Sorry.
So there's only one. Well, I guess there's two openings to the room. The one by one that he came in through, and then there's a 5-foot archway to the north of him, and then the hallway goes left and right from there.
Let's try to the right.
Okay. It immediately turns. It immediately turns to the right. Maybe after 10 feet. Oh no, 25 feet. It's much longer than I thought it was.
Big place.
Mm-hmm. So if you go out and to the right, he goes 25 feet, and then it goes to the right again. There's no left option this time. And then if he goes further down that way, it's about 55 feet until he gets to a door that's on the left side and a large open area on the right.
Are there any noises or anything like that from the open area?
The open area, he sees what he saw last time looking through the windows. It's 25 individuals all sleeping, some louder than others, some more restless than others. There are some dim candles on some tables in the middle, but they look to be not made for brightness, just made for seeing if you have to get up at night for something.
They look like adults or kids.
There's a mixture. It's about 2 to 1, so roughly 9 adults and 16 kids.
Full of pedophiles in here. What the heck? I try to gently heart sight the adults.
It only takes a touch to do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say they all fail because their defenses just aren't up while they're sleeping. And most of them are a neutral alignment of some kind. None of them are lawful, but they range from true neutral to chaotic neutral to uh, what was it? There's like maybe one or two that are chaotic evil, but not many. Most are neutral or chaotic neutral.
There are a couple evil there. That gets both our attention immediately.
Okay, just remember red 4 and red 3.
Marking that down. Okay. Is there anything else in the room that like indicates kind of what they've been doing, like with the kids, or any like sort of like books or training type stuff, or
This room is a large bunk chamber. It's got. Hold on, let me count. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's got about 32 beds set up in there, along with
oops.
along with 4 long tables and then benches on either side of the tables. It looks like this is the common / sleeping area.
Okay, so there's nothing on the tables at the moment.
Not at the moment.
Okay. Let's try following back along the trail and seeing what else is sort of out in the open.
It seems fairly clean out in the open, but there is a locked door as you go back along the hallway. There's a locked door to the left where you didn't originally go.
Okay, and that's it. Nothing. Just doors. Otherwise, no places
Yeah,
that
no-
he could sneak in.
No doors otherwise than the one that you came through and the one that was at the end of the hallway before the large room.
If you put like an ear to the door or anything like that, would we hear noises from any of them? Like the snoring person, or whether that was like, or was that from the bunk room?
No, that's from the bunk room. Just a lot of individuals sleeping. Some are bound to snore.
Okay, so any noises from any other rooms?
Not that he can hear with a passive 13. I guess he can roll, because he's actively trying to listen. So D20 plus 3. He can hear the soft slumbers of someone. It's very, very muffled. It seems like they're either very far away, around a lot of corners, in a separate room with an ajar door or something, but it's super muffled, but there's definitely someone in there.
Okay. So there's one person there, and then you said about like 9 adults and
16 kids and 9 adults.
Okay, and then we have the 1 adult and 2 kids outside.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much the extent of where he can go without having to like open doors.
Yeah, without having to open doors, that's as much as he can get.
Okay. So Thaye's just gonna have him, let's say, go back towards the. Let's say get back out, go to the front door and just keep an eye on things from like the roof for now. And then she's gonna break the sense connection and just gonna open her eyes back at the group and explain everything that she saw there. So there's at least 9 adults back sleeping and about 16 kids, including the few out front, or not including the few out front. Other than that, there are a lot of closed doors and he couldn't get through. I'm surprised a lot of them aren't entirely evil. Well, there are a couple, and I really want to get them, but this is really confusing. I can at least have Tip keep an eye on everybody, but I don't know what we're going to do besides, like, raid them, and that doesn't seem like a good thing to do until we know what exactly they're doing. So we can at least keep an eye on their movements. Plus, I think everybody needs to sleep anyway.
Well, we can't just sleep out here. They'll find us.
Well, obviously, don't stay really close.
We get far enough away, we can't keep an eye on them.
Tip can keep an eye on them, and I can keep an eye on Tip. We're that connected. And she like makes the two, like the middle and forefinger crossed, like that.
Uh huh.
Okay, then.
But then you'd have to be awake the whole time, right?
No, he can wake me up. We have to telepathy.
Okay.
Huh.
I
I'm
think he
debating
knows.
if just
He's
breaking up the camp would be a worthwhile thing to do. If we just break up the camp, even if all we do is like drive them off,
We
that
still
would
need to know
definitely
what
disrupt their
exactly they're
operation.
doing.
And we need to get the kids.
That won't work. The easiest way to find out what they're doing would be to bring the kids back and then we can ask them.
Considering how happy the two out front were, they've got them really brainwashed. I don't know if that'll help at all at the moment. We have to show them.
Or, bear with me a minute, or these guys aren't the bad guys.
What do you mean they're not the bad guys?
These two of them are so evil!
Ladies.
That's just 2 of them. How many are there? Unless you're going to tell me
At
there's
least
no
10,
evil people in that
possibly
city
11 or
behind us.
12.
So you're going to tell me there's no evil people in that city behind us?
Of course, I don't know that.
Of course not. And that's my thing. I'm actually thinking the evil people may be in charge of that city behind us. I mean, slavery's supposed to be illegal there, right? This is turning to Icus now.
Yes.
Slavery?
It is.
Yeah. And what happened to the last king?
He killed himself while trying to summon a demon.
Yeah.
He did what?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I haven't been impressed with the leadership over there. And the Mafia, while obviously not, shining examples of righteousness.
The new woman is at least less overtly strange and
Well,
evil.
she's not outrightly evil,
Right.
but she's just another person, and that's all well and good, but as far as we can tell, the Mafia are just making the best of their situation and trying to... I don't know what they're doing to these kids. That's the issue. If they're just training these kids up, then that's not a bad thing, even if there are evil people working with them.
They've been training them up and kidnapping them all over
When you say kidnapping, how many of these kids came unwillingly?
Maybe not from here, but we know that kids from around, what was the name of the town? Ice again? Were being kidnapped.
Oh, I think I heard stories about that. That's
Really?
what I was thinking too.
How many other towns like that out in the middle of the country, unprotected, do you think they've been preying on as well?
I have no idea.
Scary thought, isn't it?
I think it's some kind of psychological experiment. They're trying different techniques.
Maybe? What's
Oh,
psychology?
they're so evil!
Yeah. It's a dumb way to do it, though.
I guess I'm still confused. What's
Use
psychology?
magic to control someone. Eventually, the magic wears off, and they know exactly what you did, and now you have an enemy with a personal grudge. If you just sort of persuade people, they stay on your side, even if they learn why you persuaded them.
I think that's even worse. Just kind of tears up all dramatically. I'm sorry for the kids. Messing with their feelings, that's horrible.
And that's why we're probably going to kill them.
We might at least be able to change their ways. At least some of them haven't completely gone to the dark side.
How are we going to capture all of them now?
We beat them up, and then we drag them back to town.
Even the second part is going to be a problem there.
We can drag them through the sewers. It'll build their character.
If we're dragging them, we'll just drag them back directly to town.
I still think we should try to get a better sense of what they're doing. Then we'll be able to fight them head on later. Especially we can catch them in lies.
Yeah, it's been about 20 minutes at this point while you all hunker down, like, behind
Like
some
on
small
our bellies,
foliage.
like staring over a ridge. Like, what the hell we do?
Like, I would assume, like, people be moving people away while we're talking because she's
No, we're just far
reiterating.
enough away that we can
Yeah.
whisper.
And she's reiterating that Tip has this.
You're next to you is a dude with like a ham sandwich, and he's like, "Oh, good stakeout."
Who are you? Where did you come from?
Like shriek, like shriek and then punch.
As you punch, you realize that it was just a hallucination from your lack of sleep. No big deal.
Leave a slight crater in the ground.
Huh.
Guys, I think we're hallucinating. I think we should.
I got no idea how to approach this right now.
It's tricky. What if one of us were to go in posing as, or maybe not necessarily posing, but posing as somebody who wanted to join the Mafia, so to say. And we heard that they were
do that.
offering a good life.
I could probably pull that off.
I could do it.
Well, they've already talked to me, so if anyone recognizes me, then I can still go with it. I can give them a whole story about wanting to get the hell away from the leaders of that town, about wanting to find a new life, blah blah blah.
Are you sure you want to do it? I mean, we can do
No.
more than one of us as well.
I'm not entirely sure it's a good plan, but I'm just saying it's doable.
Yeah. I mean, we can even do more than one of us at once. just have, a couple of people with weapons show up to their gate and say, "Hi, we heard you guys were offering a good life. We want in."
Considering they seem to have some kind of ambush for us, do we know they don't already know us already?
I mean, there's never anything wrong with going in, front door, guns blazing, just throwing it out there.
It's there's a reason it's always Plan B, but it is in fact always Plan B. I would like to pull this off with as minimum amount of damage to children as possible.
Y'all don't recognize that scene, do you?
I do.
Because they weren't actually fighting at that point.
I don't.
It's from The Princess Bride.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
Fezzikin's.
Yeah, but we don't have a Holocaust cloak or a wheelbarrow.
We do our two dwarves, though.
Everyone check your inventory for Holocaust cloaks and wheelbarrows.
Nope, not there.
Let's see, what do I have? I have a magic shovel.
There's an idea. Tunnel your way under.
I have a mystery purple liquid potion and a cowbell.
Always need more cowbell.
That's exactly.
So
I
you
could
figure out
use
what the cowbell does?
to
I do
lure
have
them
fog
out.
cloud pebbles.
I'm assuming the group right now is trying to figure out how to attack the Mafia. Is that
Yes. So they are
Okay.
sitting about 50 yards away from the hideout, just thinking about how they're going to try and do this.
Well, one of us
Fair
is
enough.
Yeah,
But just kill everyone is not going to complete the objective.
essentially, Thalen explained that there are about at least 11 adults and about 16 kids that Tip's seen inside. They're all about 9 and about 10 of them are 10 of the adults are sleeping, and all the 16 kids are sleeping. But that was all that Tip could see. There was at least one behind a locked door.
Except you can't do any sneaky stuff because no one in the group is sneaky, even if you could suggest it.
The closest thing I could do is that if they had enough information, they could project her voice through Tip while he's invisible and just kind of like put the fear of God into them. That is her version of sneaky, not actually being there. But still being loud.
So it's been about a half an hour at this point. What do you do?
We really need to sleep because I can't think straight anymore.
Sleep to get rid of the hallucinations, and then plan more.
Let's set up further away.
Hit the snooze button.
Sure, why not?
Problem with we can't just come charging in because they'll either fight back or scatter. And the fighting back isn't an issue, but they'll scatter before we can really capture that many. And it's the same with the come in fire and brimstone-y. They'll either fight or scatter. And we don't want either of those. We need to capture them. And we can't surround them with the 4 of us. 5 of us? 4 of us? 4 of us.
Mm-hmm.
Times like this when I wish What's-Her-Bitch gave us more people to work with.
I mean, as a reminder, Sane did say eliminate, not capture.
Well, we want to eliminate the adults. We want to round up the kids, or at least not. Well,
He
I
didn't
mean-
specify.
That's not what Saiyan said.
Well, wait.
Couldn't have meant the kids.
We're
Hold
not
on, hold on.
killing the children.
Hold on. If we do eliminate the adults, what would the kids do? What do we think the kids would do?
They would not be happy.
They would not, but would they run away? They would run away. Where do we think they would run?
They try and fight us. And I mean, these are kids with. We know the Mothla are taking kids with some sort of with magical gifts. So
I'm not
we don't
saying
know
like
what
we'll
they're
have to
doing.
fight off a couple of them and knock them out, but that's easy enough to do. I'm just saying, like after we take out the leadership, kids will probably scatter. And what I'm wondering is that such a bad thing? Because if the kids scatter, they're either going to run to the nearest village or they're going to work their way back into town. Or if they're magically controlled, they're going to realize that happened and they're going to try and work their way back to wherever they came from, if possible. And I know it's going to be hard, but if they come to us for help, or if they come to someone for help, hopefully there'll be someone around who can help them. But we need to break the control first. But some of them are going to want to get back to the city, go back home. Others are going to want to stay far away from home as possible. And we need to allow that too. If only there was a priest in a temple of some sort of large neutral good deity we could count on.
If only.
To be fair,
Those
there wasn't
don't
one there
exist.
before. So,
He was technically a priest. He was a jackass, but he was still technically.
well, not for nothing. We also couldn't count on that guy. So,
Yeah.
Hey, he never lets you down. But at the same time, who's a dick about it?
He kind of let me down when he didn't duck.
yeah. And I don't think I wouldn't trust him to take care of it. Here's 40 more kids.
Oh,
Be
that's very
like,
true.
oh,
Just
what are you
18.
guys doing?
What are you doing? What do you think this is? Some kind of halfway house. But if we do disrupt the camp and we go back and we explain to Sane that, listen, there's a bunch of kids. They're now homeless kids. And somebody's got to take care of them. Because if no one does, the Mafia are just going to re-recruit them and then you'll be back where you started. So you have the resources to build an orphanage. We don't.
They probably already have an orphanage. It's a
I would
team.
hope so.
They have a orphanage.
Yeah, see, that's
Oh,
part of the
God,
problem
no.
right there. They need like an actual effective orphanage that like teaches these kids how to like read and stuff. And some of them will grow up to be soldiers, and that'll be wonderful. But in the meantime, and mages and whatever else, you can conscript into service of the city once they're adults.
Of course.
Of course.
I mean, I'm kind of honestly in favor of wandering in and challenging the Mothman to a fight at this point. Because, like, we can
There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that plan. I have
matter
to admit.
some, but, like, we have Tip, and we can run them. Tip can follow them if they run out from the actual, like, camp itself.
Yeah.
We can clear the camp itself and find them all afterwards and talk to them then.
He's not
Yeah, we
a
can do it that way.
blood dog.
Sorry.
He can't
what?
be everywhere at once.
Yeah.
Well, why not?
Yeah, that's the other problem.
It doesn't
We
work
can
that
find
way.
all of them before they get eaten or lost out in the forest. We
So we don't
of
want
course, we
children to
don't
be
have-
lost.
No, that would be bad.
So a handful of kids die.
No.
You're a mean voice in all our heads.
Why is this so hard?
Either way, we're not going to be best to dispense justice if we're all exhausted.
I thought we'd already
We're not trying to dispense justice. We're trying to eliminate a problem.
Of course, we're dispensing justice by eliminating a problem.
Well, yeah, but justice isn't the issue. The problem is the decision's already been made.
Justice is
We're just
always an issue.
We're just enacting the decision. We're not making the decision. We're deciding how to enact the decision. Blech. Words.
Semantics.
Ugh.
We have a job to do, and justice to be served on people.
So I guess your plan is to just sort of waltz on in, explain what we're up to, and doing it.
I mean, if anybody else has a better suggestion, I am very open to it. But
All I got
have nothing
is
else.
just sort of charge in, screaming, and do what we came here to do.
So it sounds like you all have at least dealt with this group before on some occasions. What do you know of what they're doing?
Not much.
Then why are
We
you
know
going in
they're
and still not
abducting-
knowing so we can take care of them later?
Sorry?
So why are we trying to not get any more information while we're exhausted?
How are we going to get information while we're exhausted?
Exactly.
We have a job to do.
Yes, we have a
But we
job,
have a
to,
job
do,
to do.
but how else are we going to take them all out later if they're doing evil things?
Well,
If we
that's
don't
a
know what those
separate
evil
job.
things are.
That's a separate job.
It's all one job in my eyes.
That's one way of looking at it, I guess, but not the way I look at it. We're not going to remove this entire organization all in one go.
Well, yes, but
Yeah,
we're not
or
going to
start getting
eliminate it
more
at all if we don't know what they're doing and how to stop it.
We don't even know that what they're doing is evil.
Exactly. So let's find out what exactly they're doing so then we can punch them right if it's
Okay,
evil.
how do you propose to find out more about them?
Observation.
We could always walk in and ask them.
As a question, were the Mothwa out of town before, or like relative to the whole Belcax issue?
They were around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were around. We saw them at the slave
They've been around at
We saw
least
them
for
at the slave
months.
auctions beforehand.
Well, no, I know, but I mean, this group that took the kids and left, was that before or after the Belcax incident?
They bought some kids at the slave auction, and that was before the Belcac situation. And then you've heard from Anglo-SSO and others that they've been actively recruiting for a while now.
Right, but would this group know about the resolution of that situation?
You saw a group getting ready to leave before the situation, so they could. It's possible, but there's no way that you would know for sure. Been about 45 minutes at this point.
I'm assuming they're up and about. Well, what time of day is it?
The sun is going to rise in about 10 minutes.
So much for a pre-dawn ambush. Let's go like now. If we wait till daytime, they're much more likely to see us.
We really didn't plan this out well, did we?
Nope.
All right, I vote for just going in, making a mess of the place, taking out as many as we can, knocking out the kids, and killing the adults, and do exactly what we were here to do. Because we're not here just for our own sake. We're here to get the noose out from Belcax's neck.
News.
We haven't slept, have we? Still.
Not
No.
even a little bit, aside from Belcax.
Okay. Let's all of us sleep. First. and then I
We're
kind
not
of
gonna
want to
get a
just
long
go
rest.
in and
We're only
talk.
gonna get a short rest, so
Mhm.
All right.
we're not in beds.
Yeah, so we'll get a short rest, but at least it's something.
You don't have like camping stuff?
I have camping stuff.
I was under the impression that still didn't count because of the travel rules.
Bed rolls are not beds. And especially this close to what you believe are enemies, there's no way you're going to sleep easily.
So essentially, there was no way to not be exhausted going into this.
There's a
this
way
thing.
not. There's a way not to be
We could run
exhausted. Like if you had short rested, like if you had taken a nap when you had immediately gotten out of the manhole cover, I don't know what it would be back then, but the exit to the sewer system. Like if you had set up there after being awake for 16 hours and just sleeping, like you could have come up and not been exhausted, just like any day during traveling. Like you don't gain exhaustion from your days of travel, you just get a short rest in between. You guys chose not to rest and to just march on instead.
Didn't we short rest in the thing before we left?
Yeah, we were short
Yeah.
rested before we got out, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
you took an hour to sit down and just kind of breathe it out.
yeah. But then we figured we weren't going to get much better rest, so we didn't sleep and we pushed on. The assumption being we'd go, we'd find the camp, we'd do our thing, and then we go back. And we go, we find the camp, we realize it's entirely not what we were thinking it was going to be. Because we were expecting like a staging area for them to put kids on carts,
Well,
not a fully functional camp right within sight of the city.
you'd think they would have done something about this, or noticed it. Sloppy patrols.
Well, I think they're just not patrolling. They just don't have. They must not have the resources to deal with this crap. Because I mean, look at all the stuff the government just isn't worried about. Like I imagine that before the Regency, there's nobody caring about this.
Yeah, he was too busy worrying about demons.
I will.
Wait, there were demons?
Long story. Tell you later.
Yeah, no, it's not the time. Yeah, I'm still for. See, that's why I think we can just disrupt the camp, eliminate as many as we can catch, and then go back and report that as a success because we're not charged with, and we don't have the resources to, and we don't have the responsibility to do more than that. We can't reform this entire city ourselves.
No.
That has to come from their own leaders. If they want to tell us that this is what we're going to do to get what we want out of them, let's do it. But I don't think waiting is going to get any better. We're not going to learn anything more interesting. So yeah, let's walk in and ask.
Do you hear
Okay.
what I said?
No.
Okay. I'm fine with us going in fire and brimstone, but let me at least go in and try and persuade them away and figure out what they're doing first.
Okay,
Yes.
Y'all
I
check.
got your back.
All right.
All right, give me the marching order.
I mean, I was kind of expecting them to hang back in the trees and be sneaky.
Yeah, no, they're just like, yeah.
I can
let's
jump
build that
up
house
on
right
the
here.
trees. Though if we're talking them through,
If
if we're talking them through, Thalen should probably go with him because she has good persuasion too.
All right, it's fine with me.
Okay, so you two walk up, and as soon as you get into sight, of the 3 individuals who are looking to get up from their camp right about this time and go rouse the others. The older individual spots you and quickly says to the kids, "On your guard, we don't know who these are."
Hello there, friends!
Hello.
How goes it in your camp here?
He looks upon you suspiciously. Things are